Hi everyone, welcome to the first video of this format with Guillaume, who is behind the camera and who helped me a lot. We crossed 3 countries to reach Enschede in the Netherlands from Paris in France. This is the 5th episode of Career Tracking with Alfons Sampsted. You can find the previous episodes on Nordic football and the link is in bio. In this interview, we'll talk about his choice to join Twente, his playing time, his time in national team and other fun things. So like, comment, share and enjoy the video! If we are in Enschede today, it's because you decided to sign in Twente. For Twente at the end of your contract with Bodø Glimt. Could you tell us why?
Why I signed for Twente?
Yeah.
Well, for me, when I was deciding if I should prolong my contract or not with Bodø Glimt, a big part of it was, or what weighed in my decision was like the will to experience new challenges, to develop myself, to get better, both personally and professionally. And I felt like it was the right move to make the step from Bodø Glimt. And then I went on and looked at what offers I had and what options I had, and Twente was a good step and a very logical and like realistic step towards my goals. So that was kind of the reason why.
Okay. And could you summarize how your signing here went?
Well, I knew of their interest quite early on in the process, before the season ended in Norway, and then we held contact for a bit. But I took some time off just to think about something else than football, and then when I spoke to my agent in mid-December, somewhere around that time, the interest was still there and it was still quite high. And I went to Tenerife with the family, and all of a sudden I had to book a flight from Tenerife to the Netherlands to come here and sign. It was quite a quick process after the decision was made.
New club, new country. Could you tell us the changes this has brought to your personal life?
Well, like obviously there's a new language here, new people, new culture, and putting all that together, it's a completely different environment. And like I said, it helps you grow as a person. But changes personally, I don't know, maybe I'm becoming more Dutch for every week I stay here, but I still try to be myself and the best version of me.
Okay, and what are the big differences between Bodø Glimt and Twente in the club and the city?
Well, football-wise, I go from a club where there's a big emphasis on like teamwork and structure, to a place here where they have extremely high individual quality and maybe more freedom in the structure. So the types of football are quite different, but both at a high level. In terms of the city, it's like you on the one hand you have Bodø, which is in the Arctic Circle. It's far up north. It's quite isolated from anything else, and you don't really have much else than the city itself. But here you're so connected. You can drive to Germany, you can drive to a couple big cities in the Netherlands, and it's both are nice. The tempo of living is quite slow in Norway, and it's a bit faster here, and I like both. But I'm kind of getting used to how it is here now with the tempo of living and the availability of like traveling.
Okay, and you played in stadiums with a capacity of around 10,000 in Norway, and 7,400 at home. So the average capacity in Eredivisie is around 20,000 sets, and 30,000 at home. That's a big change, right?
Yeah, it is. It's like you feel like you rarely get a game here where the atmosphere is not very good. And especially at home, we always have amazing atmosphere. The fans have been, since I arrived, it's been amazing. I don't want to take anything away from the fans in Bodø Glimt because they did an amazing job with their around 8,000 seats that they had, and they supported us both at home and away. But here, you're on another level. You're able to have more people, to have more power, more intensity from the stands, and I really enjoy it actually.
And so about your notoriety, in Bodø you said everyday people were stopping you in the city and talk to you. How is it here in the city with 3 times the population?
Well, it's different. The culture is a bit different, but I frequently get like approached and they wish me luck for the weekend, and or maybe kids want to take a photo. It's a bit different because in Norway everybody feels like they know each other. It's such a small town. Here it's a bit more unknown, but still the familiarity of the players, like the faces and the characters, it's still present. So I can see if I'm walking with the players downtown, people do recognize who we are, but they're not really too aggressive, and they respect it. So it's a nice culture.
Okay. And does it change your mindset a bit, knowing that people here don't know you yet?
No, not really. If they would know me, it doesn't really matter. I just try to do my thing.
Okay. And did you manage to adapt quickly to what the coach asked to you?
I feel so, yeah. It is a bit different, the role that I play here, but I feel like I got the grips of it quite quickly, and now it's just about getting better in the system, and that's what I'm working on now.
Okay. And you're playing a lot less than Bodø at the moment, a bit less than 40% minutes played. So is that something you were preparing for, and does it change anything about your fitness?
Well, I knew that when I arrived, it was going to be a competition, and I knew that maybe I wasn't going to play 100% of the minutes like I did in Bodø Glimt, and that was some competition I was willing to take. And like you said, it's been around 40%. Well, now we keep on pushing for more than 40%, and if it did something to my fitness, if anything, my fitness has been going up. It's giving me the availability of training more and to like physically get stronger and better.
Okay. And you compete with Joshua Bennett at right back. Do you talk together to give advice, for example, and everything?
Nah, not really so much. We sit at opposite sides of the locker room, so it's not like we have the biggest opportunity to do so. But I try to be Alfons on the pitch, so I focus on getting my advice from the coaches and then to develop my game.
Okay. And Joshua Bennett was suspended for 1 game by the manager after showing his displeasure when you replaced him against PSV. Is that something that stuck with you?
No, not really. Like I said, he's his own player, I'm my own player. That was something that happened between them, and doesn't really doesn't really play, like I don't really play a part in that. I just, if the trainer and the assistant coaches want me to play, I'm ready.
You arrived here during the season. Is it difficult to join a team when it's already halfway through the season?
Well, it's not easy because you come into a squad that's played together for a couple months now and is working towards a goal and towards a playing style that all of them are supposed to know, and then you come in and you're completely in the dark. So it's a different challenge, but on the other hand, I feel like coming in the middle of the season, I can be like a second wind to the team. I can bring in energy. I can bring in some new, fresh legs to keep on pushing the team towards good results.
Which players do you get along the best with?
Well, it's always easy to say the guys that speak English, because yeah, most of the guys that are foreign and speak English, it's easier to socialize with them, because if you sit on the other table, then it's mainly Dutch and it's hard to communicate. But I have a couple of friends in the team that I get along with, and obviously also Mathias Schöle, who's Norwegian, and I speak Norwegian, so that helps.
Yeah, because you have a good level in Norwegian.
Yeah, I speak Norwegian fluently.
Okay. So if your playing time remains around 40%, will you consider going on loan this summer or even permanently?
No. My focus is on FC Twente right now, so I don't think that will be in the picture.
Okay. And Nikita Aikin, one of your best friends in Bodø, came back to the club only 3 months after his departure. Is it reassuring to know that if you don't succeed, you can go back and you can go back to a club where you succeed?
Well, I don't really look at it in that way. I don't look at Bodø Glimt as some safety net that I can fall back on if things are going badly. I have my own career. I'm focusing on my career, and for Nikita, I'm happy for him. He's going to be playing the first game of the season today, and he's in a great place. Bodø Glimt is a great place. But like I said in the beginning, for me it was more about the will and the drive to prove myself in another place, to show that I've developed and I could take some more steps in another place. So that's the reason that I left Bodø Glimt.
Okay. And in selection, the qualifying campaign for the Euro didn't start well in Bosnia with a 3-0 defeat. But after there have been a 7-0 win in Liechtenstein. How do you explain that?
It's been turbulent times with the national team, and there is definitely something going in the right direction. I can feel that in the squad, but the results have not been going our way at all. So you can feel that it's going in the right direction, but it's just about getting over this last hurdle of I don't know if it's connected to it's hard to put a finger on it what it is, but against Liechtenstein you can feel something loosen up, like people could drop their shoulders and we could just play our football instead of thinking about we have to get results or we have to do this or that. It was just let's go out and play good football, and that's what explains it.
Okay, and you only played half an hour during this meeting. It was against Liechtenstein. Did you expect better?
I strive for better, yes. My goal is to play every minute, every game, and I feel like I could have contributed against Bosnia, and I feel like I could have helped the team. But at the end of the day, it's not me that chooses. So my feeling is maybe not on par with what the coach is thinking. But like I said, I feel like I could have contributed. Yeah.
But isn't it frustrating to know that it's not right back that replaced you?
Well, it all depends on what the plan is. And in the game against Bosnia, where they play 5-3-2, and the opportunities to progress up the right and the left side, to break the lines of the midfield, are high, then I feel like having a player like me that is experienced in exactly that could be a beneficial thing. So my strengths would have fared well against that team, I think.
Okay. And the coach, Arne has been sacked. What do you think of this decision?
It's not nice, because he was really coaching the team in a very, very difficult time. And he goes, obviously takes me with him up from the under-21s. We had a good relationship there and in the 18. And well, he was in a very difficult situation, and it was probably a hard decision for the board as well. So, but what can I say? It's that's football, and sometimes it's not fair.
Okay. And so for you, you had a good relationship. Even I saw that you played only 7 official games with him, excluding friendlies. Only 7 official matches on the last 16. So, but for you, you had a good relationship?
Yeah, like on a personal level, we had a good relationship, yeah.
Recently, you went to see Twente Iceland, I believe, in women's football. I think you follow women's football quite closely. It's quite war among professional players. What do you think about it?
Well, for starters, it's the Twente team here is the women's Twente team is doing very well at the moment, and in my opinion, they play the best football in the women's league today. So it's not like I'm watching bad quality. And in the Fortuna Sittard team, there's obviously Hildur Antonsdóttir, who is a close friend of my brother's. So it's a mix of the quality being quite good, and me knowing some players as well, some personal connections, and which makes it fun to watch.
Okay. And about Twente, you are doing on the 1 season and a half, because you didn't have this winter cut. How does it feel?
Physically, it's demanding, but on the other hand, I know we only have approximately 2 months to go, and to keep your mind focused when it's only 2 months to go, that's quite easy. So yeah, physically demanding, but still motivated.
And I believe it's the first time now in your career that you play on this way of a calendar, as
yeah,
from
like a winter season. Yeah, it's a winter season, so it's gonna be fun to get to spend a week or 2 at home in the summer.
Yeah. Okay. So you will go back to home and see maybe some Icelandic games.
Yeah, for sure. If I'm in Iceland and there are games, I will for sure be watching. But yeah, we'll see how much time I'll spend back home. But at least a couple weeks.
And will you do maybe a summer camp with Panda Gang?
I don't know. We're trying to figure out the road ahead, because none of us is in Iceland right now, so it's kind of hard keeping things going. But we always have the brand, and we always have the opportunity to do something fun with it. So we'll see, maybe.
Okay. And so, do you think you can play a role in the development of women's football? So you and all the professional male footballers?
Well, yes and no. I can do my part and show up to the games, but at the end of the day, what's going to drive the interest and the women's football is people showing up. So I can encourage people to show up. They have to find it by themselves as well, and just continue developing women's football as it's been developing. It's been on the way up quite gradually the last couple of years. So if they keep on the same track, it's going to get better and better and better, and that's a positive thing.
Okay, and it's yeah. I have the feeling that in Iceland, the men's team and the women's team are a bit together more than in other countries. Maybe in Nordic countries that's like that more than any other countries. How do you explain that?
Well, I think a part of it could be it's like we're not the biggest country, and obviously we're gonna share a pitch, we're gonna share like the facilities and everything. So you have that, and then you have the thing that like people know each other. Like I know a couple players in the women's team. Probably a lot of them know some of the other players in the men's team. It's like the connection is much more than in a bigger country where the connections are further away. So I suppose it's like the closeness and the sharing of facilities that helps it.
Okay. So you have a good presence on Instagram, and your number of subscribers increases over the months. Is it something that you monitor now when you are a professional footballer, your notoriety and your visibility on social network?
Like yes and no. I prefer not to think too much about it myself, but I do have some good guys that I know that help me a lot with it, and they have a big credit in all of this. And also, yeah, I have some people back home in Iceland as well that have helped me a lot. So I'm not gonna take any credit at all. I focus on football, and I focus on being the authentic version of myself, and then they help me translate that into my Instagram, and I try to keep people informed back home what's happening.
Yeah, because we talked about it last time. You have 10 or 15 people that you work with, and I believe you have a graphic designer for your every match day. You put a story on Instagram.
Yeah, a good friend of mine is good at it, and like he creates this match graphics so people at home can figure out if I'm playing or not, and where they can see the game and what time, and I know my grandpa uses it a lot to know what times I'm playing, so at least someone is getting a benefit from it.
Okay. So there is an event that I really liked. It was when you found Willumsson during the match against Go Ahead Eagles, and there was a whole communication around that. What did you think of it?
That was fun, because like I told you before the interview, me and Willem, we go way back. It's my best friend, and to have him in a town that's like 20-25 minutes away is it's quite coincidental, but it's fun. But it was an interesting article, because they managed to make something out of like two Icelandic friends all of a sudden battling it out in the Dutch league, and it was a fun bit.
Has it played a little part in your choice to come to Twente?
Well, like indirectly, yes, because I obviously asked Willumsson about what he thinks about Twente and the stadium and the fans, because he had recently played here. He actually scored, which was not that good. No, but I asked him about that, and he gave me positive feedback, and that was a good help in my decision.
shouldn't we do this a bit more often, like your encounters, to remind people that football is still a game first and foremost?
Yeah, we could, because I got a lot of messages and response that it was a fun thing. They liked having like some game within the game and some extra competitiveness, and people enjoyed it. And it doesn't have to be with me; it can be with other players. But I always like some side stories and some extra information. That's fun.
The fact that in Iceland everybody knows everybody is helping to keep the games on the right way.
Oh, sure, in a way, probably. It feels more personal when I'm watching games in Iceland, because usually if I go watch, I know like 5-6 guys on the pitch, so it's more like watching your friends. But here, if I go watch, I'm probably not gonna know anyone, maybe one. Then it's like it's a bit different, but it's still a good atmosphere.
Okay. And yeah, moreover, during the match between Go Ahead Eagles and Twente, the supporters of Twente were a bit violent. That the referee interrupted the match. Was it an event that surprised you?
Surprised me, yeah, sure. Because I like when the fans they're intensive and they're having fun and they're screaming, and I like that part. But as soon as they have to stop the game for it, then we've crossed the line. Then maybe we have to draw it back a bit. So in that situation, when the game was stopped, then both us, the players, have to help the fans, because they help us a lot, and then we would have to help them to realize, okay, we have to pull this one back, because otherwise we're not going to be able to finish the game.
Okay, and yeah, you celebrated your 25th birthday a few days ago. It's an important passage in the life of a man and in the life of a footballer. Are you proud of what you have achieved so far, on and off the pitch?
Yes, I would say so. I've had turbulent times in Sweden, where facing a lot of challenges. I've had successful times in Norway, and now I move on to new times here in the Netherlands, and I feel proud of it. And off the pitch, like I told you, I just wanna improve off the pitch as well. I want to learn new skills. I want to do some fun things and become a great person. And I feel like I'm on a good track right now. So for the first 25 years, I think we've done decent. So now it's about the next 25.
Okay. And what can we wish you for the future?
Just all the best.
Yeah. And finally, can you teach us an Icelandic word or expression?
Þetta reddast. It's an Icelandic saying. It kind of means like in the end they will all come together. So let's say you're out driving with your car and you're stuck in the snow, and you're just like, nah, that reddast. And you know you're gonna get it unstuck one day. Okay. That's a very typical Icelandic saying.